free. A certain man held a feast for his finest estate in town. He laid a festive table and wore a wedding gown. He sent invitations to his neighbors far and wide. But when the meal was ready, each of them replied, I cannot come. I cannot come to your banquet. Don't trouble me now. I have married a wife. She has bought me a car, a fields and commitments. That cost a pretty sum. Pay hold me, excuse I cannot come. It's not.
I'll tell you something I had to learn. Loyalty has an expiration date.
Okay.
The problem is when you're the nice person, your loyalty lasts far longer
Hi,
to
Zoe.
certain people than it should. Because their loyalty to you has been expired. But you being a good person, you hang on to friendships and become forgiving far longer than you really should be. Loyalty has an expiration date.
I don't trust anybody.
Loyalty has an expiration date. I'm sorry to tell you. I'm sorry to be the one to tell you that loyalty has an expiration date. Okay? You're the one who is too nice to people. You're too nice. When they backstab you, you want to be the forgiving one. Please. Kanini, I'm here. I'm Kanini. Loyalty has an expiration date. I'm sorry to tell you, some people don't like you. They just like what you have to offer. Okay? And when they're done with you, they are done. Some people are jealous of you. They're waiting for that time they backstab you at your moment of weakness to finish you off. And you're there sharing your story, sharing your life, telling them what's up, what's going on, being vulnerable. Honey, honey, who's gonna tell you? Who's gonna tell you? You can't even trust your own children that you have given birth with your own body. You can't trust a human mind. Hi, Bruce. My name is Kanini. Welcome to Post Traumatic Bliss. People talk about post-traumatic stress, post-traumatic stress. I'm here to tell you, there is bliss. There is life after. You get a little bit wiser. You will get a little bit happier. You know, everything can be mended. A broken pot can be mended and it becomes even more beautiful and more, you know that Japanese thing they call kintsugi, where it's the art of repairing a broken pot. A pot is broken, they repair it with a golden lacquer, and that pot actually becomes more beautiful than the original pot because it becomes more beautiful. This is what happens with your life after somebody has betrayed you. Because betrayal is going to happen. This is what happens in your life after people have betrayed you, people closest to you, because it's bound to happen, because human beings are just that kind of an animal. Okay. When people betray you and you go back into yourself, you exit their space and you get into a moment where you reconnect with who you are, your true self, and you ask yourself, how dumb was I not to see this coming? Why didn't I see this coming? You get mad at yourself, you question yourself, you doubt yourself, but that moment doesn't last long. Another thing happens. Another thing happens after people have betrayed you. You become wiser. You become wiser. You start looking at areas where you made a mistake, the point where you trusted them without knowing them and their true colors. Now you stop doing that. And once you start doing that, you become wiser and stronger and more resilient, that it will not happen to you again. But let me tell you, if you miss that one lesson, karma keeps repeating itself until you learn the lesson that human beings are not supposed to be trusted. You know, some of us, we don't even trust ourselves in different situations. Imagine if you cannot trust yourself in a different situation, how hard it is to trust a different person. This is one of the greatest lessons that human beings learn. It's the biggest lesson that a human being will learn. To be betrayed by people closest to you, because it's so traumatizing. It's so traumatizing. You wonder, like, how am I ever going to bounce back from this regret? People are betrayed by their husbands. A lot of women are betrayed by their husbands. You know, or a husband is betrayed by their wife. You know, it's never, betrayal is never, you don't care if somebody you don't know betrayed you. Hi, King. Hi, Kingdom. You never care if somebody you don't know betrayed you, or somebody you went to high school with you betrayed you. Never ever hits. Whenever it hits, it's because it's somebody who is so close, so close. The brother, the sister, it never ever is about, somebody you don't know. Betrayal hits hardest because it's usually your sister, your mom, your kid, your aunt, your brother, somebody close. Betrayal never happens because, you trusted the wrong person. No, you trusted the right person in your mind. You trusted the right person. It was your husband. How could my husband do this to me? How could my own child? How could my own child do this to me? I gave birth to this person. I raised them. I fed them. I gave them my money, my time, my energy. How could they do this to me? Betrayal never happens because somebody you don't know did something to you. Betrayal happens because it's the person closest to you that has all your secrets because you trusted them. At that point, you didn't even see it coming. You never see it coming at all. And that is the life lesson that it shocks to you and you're like, dang, my own sister. Oh my God, my own mom could do this to me. That's when it hits you like, what the hell? Who is this person? How could I have misread them so wrong? And then you start feeling foolish, and then you're like, if I could misread my mom this much, or my sister this much, or my child this much, how many other people am I misreading on a very, you start asking, doubting yourself. You start doubting yourself, okay? Like, what kind of a poor judge of character you are, that you couldn't see this coming. But the truth is, that's when you realize you can't trust anybody. That's when you realize you can't trust anybody, and that trust has an expiration date. Once people realize that, okay, she stopped giving me money, she stopped giving me her time, she stopped giving me this and that and that. Once people realize that, they bounce off out of your life, and they can backstab you. Let me tell you something that will always happen, and people will betray you. You're in a relationship, okay? You and your partner, you're in a relationship, you break up. Now, you had a group of friends, right? Some of those friends will betray you, and some of those friends will betray him. Okay? People are that sad and pathetic, and they'll go and they'll spread your rumors about the relationship and how you broke up. They're going to tell other people about what happened. So, case in point, where you need to be very, very silent about your issues and is in your relationships. Be silent, because people are going to spread false rumors and false things about you, and that's going to affect your mind, your energy. That is going to affect your mental health. So what do you do in a relationship when you don't want somebody, you do want an answer in your relationship, but you don't want to keep telling your friends? I tell people, don't bleed on the wrong people. Stop bleeding your life issues on the wrong people. Don't do it. Some people, they just walk up to a stranger, and because they're so exhausted, they're so much in pain, nobody's been listening to them, they're in turmoil, they're in pain, they just walk up to any stranger and they just telling them, you know what? I got into an accident, I got fired, and now my wife is divorcing me. She started cheating on me because I can't even do things in the bedroom because I'm so stressed out. Completely talk to a stranger, and they tell them everything about what's going on in their life. That's what I call bleeding. It's like you have a wound, and now it's just bleeding everywhere. It's an emotional wound that's bleeding and bleeding and bleeding and bleeding. And you're telling everybody about your business, and people are looking at you shocked and like, oh my God, this happened to this person. It's so exhausting. Don't do that. Go get a professional. Go get a professional. I do healing work so that you guys can find a place where you can learn about your energy. You can learn about how to protect your energy. You can learn how to do amazing things with your energy. I will help you. I will teach you how to protect yourself. I have a masterclass. Please sign up for my masterclass if you want healing. If you want healing, and if you want to understand the intricacies of protecting your energy. Okay, we talked about things like non-attachment, like not attaching yourself to things. That is one of the biggest lessons that you can learn in your life. The art of not attaching your emotions, guarding your heart so that you're not hemorrhaging energy out of your heart chakra. Those things you must learn. You must learn that the first thing in your life that you need to learn. And this is one thing that, hi tripping guy, nice to see you here. The first thing that you have to learn in your life is to protect your mental health. Don't ever walk out through that door in your life again without knowing how to protect your energy, to guard it. The Bible call it putting on the full armor. When you get out of life, you need to learn how to put on the full armor to protect your energy, to guard your heart. Remember, the Bible tells you one thing, to guard your heart. It tells you above everything else. It tells you above everything else. Oh, Tripping, nice to see you too. Nice to see you. The Bible tells you above everything else, guard your heart. You must learn to guard your energy. The moment you walk out the door, the moment you wake up in the morning, you must understand what your energy is, because your energy is all you have. Your energy is everything. I don't know who's out there who needs to hear this, but your energy in life is everything. And you cannot be giving people your energy just like that. That's why it's so hard. It hurts so much when you get betrayed by the people who are closest to you. You've given them your time, your money, your energy, your secrets, everything. And then you realize you gave it to a snake. You gave it to the wrong person. And now they are fully armed with all these things and they can almost destroy you. Don't go about trusting your life with people, your friends. That's why I tell you, why don't you go into a professional relationship with people, actually, that's a professional relationship, somebody who's not likely to destroy you. Because let me tell you, the people closest to you are the ones who are going to betray you. Not your therapist that you see one day a week and you talk about your life issues. That one is less likely to betray you. But if you have a bestie and you keep telling that bestie your relationship, your money problems, you keep telling them, stuff that's going around your life, that's the kind of a person who's likely to know your business and destroy you. Yes, you cannot trust anybody. Tripping guy, you're saying, live free, can I live in your heart without paying rent? Live free. You gotta live free. Life is about living free. If you're not living free, I don't know what you're doing with your life. If you're not living free of past pain, past trauma, past regrets, so you need to live free. Life is about living free. Live free, in freedom, in total freedom. That's what life is about. And a lot of people, they don't know how to live free because they don't know how to protect their energy. The closest person is the one that hurts you the most because they know you very well. And once they are angry with you like this one, just a little bit, you're gone. You're gone. You're gone. That is what life is about. You learn to protect your energy at every day, every minute, every second. Learn to protect your energy. Hi, Eric. Nice to see you again. Life is about protecting your energy. Protect your energy. People, you're not going to feel bad when you get betrayed by your high school buddy. No, it's that girlfriend that you share the most intimate experiences with in your life, or your boyfriend. Is that your child? That child that you've raised with so much pain, and they stopped calling you, they stopped talking to you, they are mad with you. That's the reason you will figure out, that the people closest to you, actually, the people you've given your heart to, are the ones likely to do damage to your heart. You gotta learn how to detach and protect your energy and guard your heart. You always, the mind and the heart, they work together. The mind and the heart, they work together. But the Bible tells you, above all things, guard your heart. That's the voice of God, not even from me. It tells you, above everything else, you guard your heart. Because once your heart is broken to some level, it's very, very easy to lose your mind. Once the heart is broken, the mind you lose your mind. If you don't believe me, think about a woman who has lost her child. And she goes crazy. Why is she going crazy? Because of the heartbreak. Because of the heartbreak. The heartbreak is so much, right? That some pains are too much, because only God can deliver you from a pain like that. Losing like a child or a brother or a sister, right? Because right there when you lose a child or somebody you're bonded to, is you didn't armor yourself for that event, so your heart is not protected. For most of us, the love and the bond is too much that yet there is no way that is not gonna break your heart. Like when there's that love of a mother and a child or a father and a child, and they pass away or they get sick or they're in so much pain, most of the time we lose our mind because there's nothing protecting our hearts at that time. You're very vulnerable. Your heart literally is in somebody else's body outside of your own, and that's why it hurts. And when we're talking about non-attachment, like detaching is that your heart is not outside of yourself living in somebody else's body, because that is when things can go wrong. You can get betrayed, they can do so many things. When we talk about detaching, non-attachments, that's when you protect your energy. You detach completely. Your heart belongs to you. If you lost your child, you're like they're in the Father's arms, they're in God's happy place, and I leave it to God. Having the courage to guard your heart from that heartbreak and being like, I will stop this pain from piercing me this much, because I'm going to let it go to God, to the creator, to the source, and he will take care of it. That's why some people who believe have a lot of strength, because they have mastered that the word is supposed to protect their energy. It's supposed to guard them. And that's what the Bible says, above all things, you must guard your heart. It's good mental health to guard your heart, to guard your energy. If you're not able to do that, I do offer mental health class. I have a class now going live, and we can start discussing these things so that you can start to see them with your own eyes, so that it can become living. Okay, so on the internet, there are so many people telling you this, telling you that, telling you this, telling you that. And for me, what I have always found that helped me not to listen to this person, I usually get a book and I read a book and I try to understand things instead of bouncing from one person on the internet to another, to another, to another, to another. I read books. And that's why I created a class. And that class is kind of like a summary of books that I've read for the last 10 years with all the mental health lessons that I have learned for the last 10 years. So that way you save yourself 10 years. You save yourself time, you save yourself 10 years. You know the important thing first, because I can guarantee you a lot of people don't understand that mental health is number one. They don't get it. They don't get it until they start losing their money, their health, their relationships, until their life starts going spiraling out of control. That's when they realize, oh shoot, I should have had somebody to tell me this stuff. School doesn't teach this stuff. Yes, you realize, like, school doesn't teach like 90% of all the things that you're supposed to know, because school is the biggest scam that there is. School and church are like kind of like, what the hell is going on? Why did I spend so much time of my life learning nothing? That is school for you. That is school for you. And especially if you're coming from a place of lack, like for example, you're coming from childhood trauma, from families that are kind of messy, dysfunctional, chaotic. The school system will not help you one bit, because the school system never, maybe some schools these days are better off because they have things like guidance, counseling, they have all these services that can help students. But for me, how I grew up, I didn't get all that. And I find that so many people are left vulnerable. That's why I did this class. I did this class because some of us, we don't know why our life is so messy. Like, I didn't even learn that I should not trust people until betrayal started happening around my closest family members and friends. That's when I started learning, oh shoot, man, dang it. you know Man, life will give you a trip. Anyway, let me see this. Let me see. Anyways, you gotta live free. Live free. Live free. There's nothing that beats living in freedom. Living in freedom. And if you once you know what's going on here, you live in freedom. The whole Bible, the whole church, the whole school system, everybody's trying, all psychologists, they're trying to liberate the human mind. They are wondering what it takes to liberate the human mind. But once you understand what mental health entails, you understand energy. Nobody can manipulate you. A lot of people are manipulated. They think love is, they are in love, but they don't know that that person is already manipulating them. You know, most men manipulate women. They don't love you. They just want to manipulate you. Mm? Mm, 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 mm. Live free. Everyone is trying to manipulate you, to want you to side with them. And the only person you should be siding with is you first. You gotta love you. But most people don't even know who they are. And that's kind of like a trip. Because if you want to love yourself, you gotta know who you are. And the best way to love yourself, if you don't understand your energy, you will not ever understand who you are. You are energy. Energy is all there is. Energy is all there is. You are energy. That's all there is. That's all there is energy. You know, all there is energy, and you are energy. Energy is all that there is. And once you understand your energy, once you understand how to live and protect your energy and the essence of energy. Once you understand what energy is, the essence of it, how you can protect it, you will start seeing things from a very different angle. You will start understanding life from a very, 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 very different angle. And this is what we want to do at post-traumatic bliss. We want you to understand your energy so that you can live in bliss. A lot of people are talking about living in stress. We want you to live free. Live free. We want you to live free. It's all about living in freedom. Living in freedom of who you truly are. And to live in freedom of who you truly are, you gotta understand energy, because everything is energy. You are energy. That's all there is. That's all there is. Energy is all there is. Nothing else. Once you understand energy, you understand the universe. Once you understand the energy, you understand life. Energy is all there is. It's all there is. Live free. Well, I gotta go. Nice seeing you guys. Like, subscribe, and until next time, protect your energy.